Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, March 31st. It is the last day of the month. Woohoo! So if you are joining us today for story time, go ahead and let everybody know that you're here. Go ahead and type hello in the comment section or just give a little wave if you are new to story time. And it looks like the Houstons from Florida are with us. Hello, welcome. And Renzo and Fiona, nice to see you here with us this morning. I'm glad you could join us. Well, today we are going to be reading a story about somebody's life, and that has a special word. When you read a story or an article about someone's life, it is called a biography. And bio, if you were to break this word up, bio means life, and the word graph, or part of the word graph, means writing. So when we read a biography, we are going to be reading about somebody's life today. Who's it going to be? We'll have to wait and see. That is something fun for you to know. Hello, Luca. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Good morning, Nolan. Happy to have you with us today. Well, yesterday I told you that it was my sister's birthday, and I have to tell you something. It was hilarious. We had a birthday party over the internet, and it was so much fun. It was a costume party. So we all got dressed up on Zoom, and we watched each other sing happy birthday to my sister from all over the United States. It was really fun, and I'm not going to show you any pictures, but it was a little bit silly. So that was an update. And then also we have a special birthday today for Cece, who is in Renton, Washington. Happy birthday, Cece. If you would like me to say happy birthday to you, if your birthday is coming up, let me know that too. You could put that also in the comment section. Looks like we have Tylee and Kayla with us. Good morning, Tylee and Kayla. Nice to see you. Hi, Sammy and Will. Sammy and Will, nice to see you almost every day. We have a group of friends who get together and we do PE together. So Sammy and Will, well done. Keep up the good work. We can see that you are working hard today. All right, so good morning to everybody who is just joining us. We're gonna go ahead and get started. Now, before we read a story, we need to get our bodies ready to listen. So this is like my favorite part of the day. Get a little bit of warm up. We're gonna inhale rainbow breath up. Stretch, get that blood going. Roll your shoulders and exhale down. Let's do that again. Inhale up. Reach to the ceiling. Nice big tall fingers. Roll those shoulders back and down. Go ahead and tilt your head from side. Just really lengthening your neck. Oh, it feels nice. Roll your neck down and around to the other side. Get a nice long stretch that way. Let's do one more big rainbow breath up. Here we go. Rainbow breath up. Reach the sky. Good morning, AJ and Ethan. Hello, Fred. Roll your shoulders back and clap your hands at the top and bring them quietly in your lap. Good morning, Sharon. Also, I should say good morning to you as well. Okay. I feel really relaxed and ready to get into our biography for the day. Remember, biography is a writing about somebody's life. And today we are going to read about Amelia Earhart. Have you guys heard of Amelia Earhart before? I know. Let's take a little picture walk on this cover. What do you think we will be reading about today? Looks like there's a little loop-de-loop. Airplanes. I should also say good morning to McKenna and Aiden, because I know you watched yesterday and I did not say good morning to you. So good morning, McKenna and Aiden. Okay, this book is called I Am Amelia Earhart, and this book is being read with permission from Scholastic. Amelia Earhart. When I was little, people told me that girls should wear dresses and play with dolls. They said we shouldn't have unladylike adventures. I didn't agree. In fact, when I was 7 years old, my sister and I decided to build our own roller coaster in our backyard. We placed 2 planks of wood up against the side of our tool shed. Grandma's not gonna like this. The cab was a wooden packing box with roller skate wheels attached to the bottom. We greased the wood with lard so we'd move super fast. If you don't know what lard is, it's fat from an animal. Amelia, are you sure this is a good idea? This isn't a good idea, it's the best idea. Oh dear. Here she is making the ramp, and she's getting ready. Good morning, Morgan. Good morning, Jackson. Of course, I got to write first. This was my moment. Hello, Jacob and Landon. Good to have you with us. Here we go. In 3, 2. Oh my goodness. What's gonna happen? I still remember the wind in my face. My stomach seemed to sink. I was flying. Woohoo! Amelia Earhart, take it apart this instant. The crash was loud and noisy and messy. It certainly wasn't ladylike, but it was awesome. In fact, she says, that was awesome. It wasn't the last time I would fly. As I got older, I went to many air shows. But when I was 23 years old, but still a kid at heart, my dad took me to meet Frank Cox, a man who would eventually set many of his own flight records. You ready? I'm ready. For $10, Cox agreed to take me on my very first flight. For 10 minutes, we flew through the sky and out over the Pacific Ocean. By the time I was 200 or 300 feet off the ground, I knew one thing. I had to fly. To save for my flying lessons, I worked as a truck driver, which wasn't very ladylike either. Move it, Mac. A stenographer, which is a fancy schmancy word for someone who writes down what people say. Blah, 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 blah. And even a photographer. Say snook. Six months after I learned to fly, I bought a bright yellow used biplane that I named Canary. Canary is a cool name for a plane, right? This is my instructor, a woman named Netta Snook. That's her real name. But here's my secret. I wasn't a natural. I wasn't the best pilot. I just worked harder than anyone else. That's enough flying for today. No, I can do better. One more flight. Do you see Netta? And there's Canary. Most important, Like that day on the roller coaster, I dared to do what many said couldn't be done. A girl flying across the Atlantic? Amelia, you sure this is a good idea? This isn't a good idea. It's the best idea. I became the first woman to fly across the Atlantic Ocean, and then the first woman to fly by myself across the Atlantic. Back then, people took boats to get to Europe, sailing for weeks. Planes were a new thing. In fact, on the day I took off, one magazine ran an article that said women would never be able to fly that far. But I did. To do it, I had to fly for 14 hours and 56 minutes with no rest, no breaks. Sometimes the sun was so blinding, I could barely see where I was going. In the process, I also broke the record for crossing the ocean in the shortest time, doing it faster than any man or woman ever. This is awesome! In October 1922, I broke the women's altitude record by rising to 14,000 feet. And in July 1930, I set a speed record of over 181 miles per hour. Then I broke an altitude record, which is just a fancy schmancy way of saying I went higher than anyone else. How high did I go? About 12 Empire State Buildings straight up, at a time when no woman had ever gone that high. In my life, I took many flights. Every single time, there was someone who said that I wouldn't be able to do it. Do you remember that? That's her roller coaster. And this is her being a pilot. Never let anyone stop you. Whatever your dream is, chase it. Work hard for it. You will find it. It is the best lesson I can give you. I am Amelia Earhart. I know no bounds. And I hope you'll remember that the greatest flight you'll ever take is the one no one has tried before. Good morning, Ian. Good morning, Zoe. Good to have you with us. Never interrupt someone doing what you said couldn't be done. That quote is by Amelia Earhart. This is what she really looks like. That's a picture of her. And then in the back, here are some actual photographs of Amelia Earhart, which is kind of fun to see what she looked like. Here she is when she was 7 years old. And I'll move a little bit closer so you can see. This is her in the cockpit of her airplane, and that's her airplane, the Canary. This is her, the pilot that took her up on our first ride, Frank Hawks. And then down here, we have Netta Snook, and that was Amelia's flight instructor. Hello, Auntie Mimi, good to have you with us too. So that was a book about Amelia Earhart. And do you remember that word when we talk about a book or writing about someone's life? That's right, it's a biography. Now today, we are not making roller coasters in your backyard. Don't do that. That's probably not a safe choice to do for today. We are going to do something that Amelia Earhart did, and that was fly. We are going to make paper airplanes today. Okay, So you're going to need just a piece of paper. It could be a piece of scratch paper. It could be cardstock, might hold up a little bit better. But I'm going to teach you how to make a paper airplane. The first thing that you're going to do is fold it in half, hot dog ways. So make sure that you are corner to corner and make a nice deep crease on your paper. The next thing that you're going to do is open it up, and you'll notice that there is now a line down the middle of your paper. You're going to take one corner and then you're going to bring it to the center line and line up your edge to the center line. Let me show you what that means. You are going to take the edge and match it up so that it goes against the midline and create a crease. You're going to do the same thing with the bottom part of your piece of paper. Good morning, Gemma. Hello, Westland Pearson Ford. Glad to have you with us. Now your paper should look like an arrow pointing this direction. Your next step is going to be similar like the first step. You're going to take your edge and line it up against the middle of the paper. So I'm going to take my edge and line it up against the middle of my paper. So now I created a new fold that is longer. This is going to be part of our wing. The next step is similar to the last step. You're going to create another fold by using the edge to match up to the midline. When I was little, I used to raise paper airplanes down the hallway in my parents' house with my brother Tony, and we would see who would have the fastest airplane. That was a fun indoor activity. You should ask your parents first. I won't tell you who won. No, we shared. Sometimes he won, sometimes I won. I won more. I don't know, maybe. Okay, so right now your airplane should look like a dart. The next thing that you're going to do is fold your airplane in half along that center fold line that you created first. So you take the piece of paper and you're going to fold it up. Boom. Do you see that? Okay. Now we are going to shape the wings. And we'll do that by taking one side and you're going to fold it down so that you have a wing that will pop up just a little bit. Can you see that? So it's probably about maybe an inch from the bottom fold that you did. Do the same thing on the other side. So right now, this looks like a pretty good airplane. We're going to make it even better. So right now I have an airplane. This is what the back looks like. This is what the front looks like. The last thing that you're going to do is create the wingtips. And you're going to do that by taking the edge on the bottom and just ever so slightly folding it back up. And you want to make sure when I fold that the edge piece lines up with the longer edge piece, maybe just a smidge, maybe a half an inch or so. So I do a half an inch on one side. So it'll look like that, the wingtip. And then I'm going to turn it around so that I can create the wingtip on the other side. Another half inch up. Okay, so my paper airplane should look like this. I have nice little wingtips. I have a nice sharp nose pointing. And when you fly a paper airplane, you'll notice you don't just chuck it as hard as you can down the hallway. You kind of have to just let it fly up and out a little bit. And here's sideways. Now this is just one paper airplane design. There are a lot of other ways you can fold a piece of paper to create an airplane. When you're done folding the paper airplane, you can decorate it. You can name it. A lot of times you'll see the name of an airplane along the edges on the side or maybe on the wingtip. And if you have somebody else in your house, you can try and have a paper airplane throwing contest with your family members who can make it down the hallway in the least amount of throws possible. Maybe you have target practice. You can get a hula hoop in your living room or maybe outside in your yard and see who can get your airplane closest to the center of the hula hoop. Lots of fun. Oh, that went really far. You can't see it, but it went really far. You can have lots of fun with just a piece of paper. And that's what I have for you today. We'll see you again tomorrow at 8:30. Thanks for joining us. Oh, I forgot to remind you 2 things. What's the first thing? You are never alone. Yesterday was kind of a hard day for me. I was missing my family and my friends, but know that you are never alone. We are always here with you in community. And the second thing is, wash your hands all the time, folks. Wash your hands for 20 seconds and make sure to keep your distance. You guys are awesome, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Have a good day.